Mountain Wellness. I'm your host, Henry Gaston, certified health and life coach. And if you like any of this information, by all means, please just like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment if you'd like. All that helps the algorithm to keep going and keep us going, so to speak. In any case, we'd like to welcome today Dr. Dorcia Hart. She is a seasoned pharmacist driven by a profound passion for nutrition, hydration, and she brings a wealth of expertise to guide us on our journey to health and optimal wellness. With a keen focus on hydration, nutrition, and movement, Dr. Hart has delved deep into the intricacies of holistic well-being. Her extensive knowledge has illuminated the transformative potential of hydrogen-rich antioxidant water, showcasing its abilities to neutralize free radicals, promote detoxification, and enhance energy levels. In this episode, we'll talk about her own personal journey in terms of how she was diagnosed with terrible joint pains, and her doctor said, well, you're just getting old. But she didn't buy that. She found someone that just offered her the simple thing of drinking more water, but a very special type of water that she herself now invites others to partake of. We're going to find out what that is. We had such a great discussion and a lot of good information. And I, of course, go on my rant about not just about the sick care, but also about the food industry. But she's right on point. So please pay deep attention and close attention to this stirring information with Dr. Dorcia Hart. I am so thrilled to have the good Dr. Dorcia Hart with us today, and we're going to really have a great conversation. Dorcia, I've had a privilege of talking with you and just seeing what you do over the past few years, and I just am so thrilled to have you on my show at this point. Your specialty is helping individuals with hydration now. Tell us, where did that come from? And, what was your own experience?
Okay, thank you, Henry. I'm a retired pharmacist, and I don't believe in drugs. Now, of course, there's drugs for emergency situations, but you're sort of responsible for your own, health. You should take charge of your own health. So when I was working in the hospital, I had come across some problems, and when you're working at a computer all day and you're looking up and down and using your mouse left and right, you start to get these aches and pains in your neck, and then I got carpal tunnel in my right arm and I got a frozen shoulder in the other. And it's like, geez, it's like it hits you all at once. Sciatic nerve, constipation. I mean, it's like everything just hit me at one time. And so I went to the doctor and he says, well, you're just getting old. And it's like, you don't want to believe that, it's like, how can I be getting old? I'm still young, you know? And so they gave me medication, okay, pain medication. They gave me steroid shots for the frozen shoulder that I couldn't lift up over my arm. And it's like, started my journey down with pharmaceuticals, and I don't like to take medication. So after a while that they didn't work, a few months, they started talking about surgery. Okay, now surgery, I didn't want to do that. So I said, that's all right. I'm just going to go cold turkey and not do anything. So I suffered for about a year, just waking up, screaming, pain in the morning, and then jumping in the shower and, taking the Advil and just trying to wait those 20 minutes so that it would kick in, for the pain. And of course, there was inflammation and all that. So come to find out that this lady came by, a friend of my husband's, and she said, this water can really help you. So I'm thinking, I'm in the medical field. I know about water. Why are you going to tell me about water? You can't tell me water, why would you tell me this? And it's like, I didn't believe it. It just went over my head. I said, that's okay. I'll talk to you later. So 3 months down the road, I still haven't tried the water. And, when you're in pain, you would just try anything. Okay. So about 3 months after that, I said, okay, just bring the water over. I'll try it. Okay, I'll just try it. So I started drinking the water like she told me, and within 2 weeks, I was pain free. And it's like, how can that be? I'm thinking, with all the research that I've done, how can that be? So what I did find out that we're really just dehydrated. And when you're dehydrated, your body accumulates inflammation, acid waste, because you're not allowing your body to flush it all out. So your body just stores the stuff in crazy places. It was stored in my joints, and that's what was causing all this pain. So dehydration and inflammation go hand in hand. So you got to keep hydrated. That is the most important thing. We're 70% water. The earth is 70% water, and we're made from the earth. So why not drink 70% of all the stuff that you're putting in your body?
That's so true. That's the thing that I learned as well. So many individuals underhydrate themselves. And then it's not just hydrating themselves. Many times they drink purified water, water that's kind of devoid of the natural compounds that are found in the water. So now, was there anything particularly different about the water that you were drinking? Did they have, or was there anything added, or tell us a little bit about your water, or should I just can they drink tap water and have the same effect? Talk to
Well,
us.
you remember back when you were a child, you used to drink out of the hose. So that water had all your minerals and it was clean water. It wasn't contaminated like it is today. So the water company, they have to clean it and they have to put chlorine in it, which is really bad for your kidneys. So yeah, you can't drink the tap water. And then came along bottled water. Now, I don't know if this was a mistake that they did or they purposely did this, but they removed all the minerals out of the water. And so that's why people are having problems. They're not getting their calcium, their magnesium, their potassium because it's devoid of all that. They're using reverse osmosis for most of them. And so when you're drinking that kind of water, you're not getting all the things in it that you should. So when I ran into this lady, that's why when she told me about this other water, I didn't believe that there was any difference because I'm thinking all water has minerals in it. And this water that I'm drinking is hydrogen rich water. So it's hydrogen rich water. It has antioxidants in it and it's super absorbing. So you need water that's going to get down into your cellular level and pull out the toxins, get rid of that inflammation, and then your body can actually heal itself. And so that's what I found out the difference, with my water that I'm drinking now versus the bottled water and, other waters that, that's out there like the tap water. So it's about the quality of the water that really helps your body heal itself.
So the interesting thing that you said that they hear this in basically in elementary school that the body is 70% water. They don't make that correlation oftentimes that the earth itself likewise is 70% water. But the challenge is that we don't realize that having a natural flow is so vital to the health of the body, just like having the natural flow of water throughout the earth is helpful
Right.
to the earth. So when you think about it, the earth naturally has water. You have living water that has natural compounds in it for the health of individuals. Is it possible that those things also provide the proper charge to the body?
Mm-hmm. Yes. The system that I'm using is a system that you put in your house and it hooks up to your cold water line. It filters out all the bad stuff, all that chlorine crap. And then it goes through these plates that are electrically charged. So, we're electrical beings, like if you go to the emergency room, your heart stops, they're going to put some volts of electricity in your body, so we're electrical beings, we're charged, and you get energy from all that. And so the water should give you energy, just like fruits and vegetables. If you measure it or test it, they have energy. A lot of the water that I've tested out there has no energy. So you need to put back the energy. The water that I'm drinking has an electrical charge on it. So you're drinking the electrical charge. You have more hydrogen and more oxygen in this water, and you get the energy, and that helps your body rejuvenate. You need energy. That's why you eat fruits and vegetables. They have energy. Don't drink dead water. Drink water that has energy.
That makes perfect sense. And the idea again is, life. The old saying is life begets life. So when we think about something that is alive in this sense, there's the work of Dr. Masaharu Emoto, and he's actually discovered that emotions, sound affects quality of water. He's done experiments when they the rice experiment where he has a jar of rice in water and speaks kind words to it and things like that, gives that energy of love to it, and it begins to produce a sweet smelling aroma over a period of time. Whereas the jar that he speaks negatively to, he hurls abuse at, that water actually causes the rice to rot in the worst way.
Right.
Then they show also taking water itself, and in the presence of love, in the presence of joy, you freeze those crystals, they come out in beautiful symmetrical shapes. Right. Whereas when you have either dead water or water that is negative and around the negative emotions, around the sound and experiences of violence, that water itself, when you freeze it, comes out deformed in its shape. Yeah. That tells us that our bodies, what we take into our bodies, and then how we use our minds, as well as have the proper life to the substance, has an effect on our health and well-being.
Right. So that tells you that, water is alive. I saw that same experiment. They had, they put this glass of water in a sound room, and they played like rock music, really intense music. And then they had this other glass into this elevator music. It was nice and soft and relaxing. And when they froze the water, you had all these disruptive crystals, forms that were in from the rock music. And over here had nice, formed crystals. They're all symmetrical and everything. And, that was when I saw that many, many years ago. I was really amazed that I didn't realize, water is alive. It's alive, and you need to drink water that's still alive and not have water that's been devoid of minerals, devoid of its electricity, devoid of a lot of things that are just naturally comes with water.
Absolutely. So tell us, Doc, when you help individuals on a personal level to regain their health, do you have a water regimen that you put them through, or do you say, well, just hook this up to your sink and then drink this for the rest of your life? How do you handle things?
Well, I do an assessment of their lifestyle. So it's all about their lifestyle. What you put in your mouth really reflects what your body is about. So I do an assessment. I ask you all these questions. You can go online and you can fill out the assessment form, and then I review it and figure out, what's going on. Are you not drinking enough water? Are you not eating enough fruits and vegetables? Are you not exercising? So I take that all into account and make up a plan for you, and a calendar with tasks and daily things that you should be doing. So like, for instance, hydration. Hydration is the first thing you need to tackle. We won't tackle them all at the same time because you can't do all of them at the same time. It's just too disruptive, in your life. So you have to start with one. The first one to start with is hydration. So hydration, you need to drink half your body weight in ounces. So that might mean about 8 glasses a day. Some people think, okay, that's so much water. But, your body is mainly water. You need to drink more than you eat. So flip it around. Drink more and only eat a little bit, 30%. Okay. So drinking the water is important. but drinking it at the appropriate times is also important. When you sleep and get up in the morning, that's when you're most thirsty. So you should get up and drink 2 to 3 glasses of water when you first get up. And then take your shower, go to the bathroom, and then have your breakfast. You know, I believe in breakfast, okay? Some people don't believe in breakfast, but drink 3 glasses before each meal. And that way you got it in. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to write it down. You just know it's 3 glasses before each meal, and you got 9 glasses in that day. Now, if you're a little heavier, you might drink a little bit more. If you're a little lighter, you might drink a little less. But at least you know when to drink it, and you drink it all at once. You're not going to sip it. Don't sip it. You got to just get it into your body so your body can actually do something with it. Because, you got that stomach where it has all that acid in there. So you want to get it in there and start it working, right away. Then we'll look at nutrition. What are you eating? I'll ask you all these questions, how are you eating? What are you eating? And if you want to go vegan, I'm vegan, so I can teach you how to do that. If you want to cook that way, I can show you how to cook. And also gardening. I tell people, if you don't want to eat that crap in the store that has all the pesticides on it, although our system has a way for you to remove the pesticides, but it's always best to know what you have in your garden, and you can get better nutrients, and it's pesticide free because you're growing it yourself. And then lastly, there's movement. You got to move all that stuff around for it to get out. Your heart pumps your blood, and that travels through your system. We talked about how high blood pressure makes it harder to pump. Sugar makes it harder to pump, and then your blood pressure rises. So there's also another fluid in your body that helps clean out your blood, which is your lymphatic system. So you want to move. That won't move unless you move. So you need to do some exercise during the day. It's not, strenuous, but you just need to move. So maybe 5 to 10,000 steps a day, which might be good. You might think that's a lot, but it's only 30 minutes. 30 minutes out of 24 hours. I mean, how bad is that? But it's really helpful for your body to get that in there.
That's so very true. One of the things I try to do, now I do it every day, and I take my clients to a similar practice, but I try to meet people where they are. So not
Right.
everyone can do what I do every morning. But for me, part of my routine is doing the exercise first thing in the morning, then having the water, and then later on. Now, my breakfast, I do believe in breakfast too, but
Okay.
my breakfast, my
That's the
personal
most important part of the day is your breakfast, because you leave it out, then you're going to be eating all those donuts and stuff in the office, you know.
with me, my breakfast takes place a little later in the day, and the reason why is for that is again it's a strategy for managing blood sugar for me. Okay, not all of my clients, not all of my friends that deal with you know sugar issues or glucose level issues or insulin resistance. Not all of them can do that, but I find
Mhm.
that works very well for me. And when I take my clients through, as I work with I work with them in terms of conceiving and committing to what they know they want to achieve. So the idea,
Right.
you think we see what's possible. Now let's find your strategy. Commit to
Mhm.
the strategy. Let's get refine it, rework it. Let's see how it works. And so
Right.
ultimately,
It's a plan for everybody, because everybody is different. Every plan doesn't work. That's why I tailor it to that person. And
exactly.
I don't tell people to stop what they're eating. I'm just telling them to add 8 to 10 vegetables a day. So if you eat that first, maybe you can't eat all the other stuff, and maybe you'll be full.
So, Kimmy, I'll ask you this on that note in terms of vegetation. Um, can a person also add to their hydration by eating or increasing their vegetation or their vegetable intake as well on top of the water?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, vegetables are like 80 to 90% water. I mean, if you look at a spinach leaf, the only thing that's holding it up is water.
Mm.
And if you take some raw spinach and put it in a skillet with a little bit of oil, and you start to cook it, you'll see that it'll squish down to almost nothing, and you'll see all this water, and it's like, wow, that whole thing was made of water. So yeah, if you eat a lot of the high water content vegetables, yeah, that's adding to your body's intake of water, but that's just extra. I still want you to drink, half your body weight in ounces, and the vegetables that you add in there, that's just a plus.
So, what's a good rule for a person to figure out what their water level intake should be? How is it?
Well, I take the assessments, I look at their BMI, and also calculate, based on their weight and some other parameters to figure out how much water you should drink. But on the average, it's about half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 140 pounds, half of that is 70, so that's 70 ounces that you should be intaking throughout the day. And so I divide that into three so that you can drink, a third of that before breakfast, a third before lunch, and a third before dinner.
I would imagine that keeps a person full longer as well. Isn't that true?
Yeah. If you put the water in first, you might just be thirsty, because a lot of times your body doesn't give you the right signals for being thirsty. And so if you've been not drinking water for months and months and years, your body's going to turn off that thirst signal, and it turns on the food. So it said, oh, well, maybe I can get them to eat the food, and then I can squeeze all the water out of that I can try to get. So once you start drinking the water again, it will change your taste buds, believe it or not. And it'll get that sugar craving off of your taste buds. And then your body will start asking you for the water. You'll start getting dry mouth again. You'll start being thirsty. So you have to start that practice. And that's what I help you develop. I help you learn to drink water again. And your body will accept the water. And then you'll start getting these signals, when you're not drinking enough water.
So then, what would be a person's uh, reaction, so to speak, when they first start going through the process? With some treatments, the body kind of reacts almost like in shock. What happens
Right.
with a person that starts this new way of water intake?
Well, if you have all that inflammation, if you're overweight, if you have a lot of acid buildup in your body, you start drinking my hydrogen-rich water, your body is going to detox first. So your body is going to eliminate that stuff. It does not like sugar. And when you drink the water, it does not want you to have the sugar in your body. So it will start dumping it out. You might go to the bathroom more. You might perspire more and go through your skin. So it depends on how your body eliminates waste. You could eliminate in your breath, you could eliminate in your skin, through your pee and your poop. So those are sort of the mechanism that you can get rid of that stuff. And so you want to get it rid of. But after about a few days, it'll be calmed down. We start you off on a low pH, like 8.5, so you don't detox too fast. And then after that, your body will absorb the water, super absorbing, 80% more absorption of the water than bottled water, which is only like 10 or 20%. And that's what you want. You want the water to go all the way down to your cellular level and pull out the toxins. Regular bottled water, it comes in and goes out. So you're peeing all day long because, that's why people don't want to drink water, because it's like you have to go to the bathroom so much. But once you get all the toxins out, you won't have to go that often.
So then a person who goes through this process, at the end of it, they wind up with much more energy. They wind up with less aches and pains. What about, and I say this because I'm noticing that you have very nice skin, so I'm going to attribute that to the water. And and I'm wondering if that, and I think it's an obvious question, but just going to throw it out there anyway. I'm wondering how that can really help a person's skin to improve wrinkles, the whole anti-aging concept. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I mean, if you're dehydrated, your body sort of shrivels up. I mean, everywhere. Your skin sort of shrivels up and gets wrinkled. But if you hydrate it, your body plumps up a little bit. You got the water where the wrinkles used to be. It keeps your skin clear. Your skin is not having a lot of acne or anything. So like kids that are teenagers and they have all that acne, it's because they're not eliminating the waste. out of their body. And if they just drank enough water, their skin would just clear up. You know, we have a lot of different waters coming out of our machine. We have an acid water where you can put on your face to kill the germs. It's a sanitizer. We also have one that's a degreaser that removes the pesticide off of your foods. And you can also use it, to help with healing on your skin. I give people different types of water, not just for drinking, but if they have eczema, there's a water for that, which kills germs and then helps you repair your skin a lot faster than other things that you put on your skin. So hydration is so important for every part of your body. Your skin is your largest organ in your body, and just keeping it hydrated makes it look really nice and fresh. People tell me my skin looks good, but I don't even know. Is it really? It looks good? Okay. So yeah, the more water you drink, the better off you are because it gets rid of the toxins, and anything that you're sweating out will get eliminated. And then a lot of things that are underneath your skin cause you to have problems, pimples and all those, pussy little things, you don't want. So yeah, drinking the water flushes out the toxin. That's the best thing you can do is flush out the toxins, and you'll have good skin. You'll have good internal problems too. Your body regenerates the cells every single day, and it will depend on what you put in your mouth on how well it builds your cells. So your cells is in everything. It doesn't rebuild everything, but in a course of a year, everything would have been rebuilt with this new water, new food that you're eating, and then the exercise helps push it out. I mean, you'll be feeling great, energized, help you sleep at night. I mean, you just can't believe the kind of sleep you get. You get like twilight sleep. And you think all that energy that you have that you're doing all day long that you can't go to sleep. But nope, once you hit your head on that pillow, you're out. You're out for the night. And it's wonderful. You really feel good.
Wow, that's amazing. So, Doc, you're a pharmacist by trade. And so I'm going to ask you this question. We're going to wade into the deep end of the pool for just a second. So these semaglutide drugs that are on the market now, that, like Wegovy, Ozempic, etc., they're coming up with all sorts of things that they find, that this could help people with. And I don't doubt that. But there's also these negative side effects. There is no doubt. It's an obvious fact that there's an epidemic of obesity here in the States and in other parts of the world. So
Right.
the question is, which would be a better thing for a person to try if, in fact, it's not mandatory for them to have, in other words, an absolute must for them to have Wegovy, Ozempic, the other one. Talk a little bit about that, please.
Well, because of, you probably have heard about all those bad side effects, that you have with your stomach and uncontrollable problems with your stomach, because of some of these drugs. I mean, it might be good, for a little while, but I don't recommend them. Just like, they do liposuction, they suck out, and make your stomach sick. I don't recommend that either because, you're sort of harming your body. And as many people that I know have had that, they bounce, once they stop, they bounce right back, you know. So it's really a discipline that you need to do. Change your lifestyle is the best way to actually, improve your health. And I have a program where I with you for 4 weeks, and it's a daily. I do a daily power call with you, and I do a 2 hour at the end of the week, just a Zoom call, just going through um, some of the things that challenges that you had during the week, and we might adjust the plan a little bit, based on your lifestyle. So, it's just something that, you're gonna have to, take charge of your health, and you whittle at it a little bit at a time. Just like exercise, you don't just jump out and you're gonna do 100, press 100 pounds. You're gonna start off with baby steps. And then whatever you put in, you will manage it and you make it a habit, and then you will be able to, proceed to the next step. But I don't recommend the drugs. There's so many side effects. Everybody wants them. Even my husband wants them. You know, I please don't. I just go the healthy way. Try to drink the water. I think people will have a hard time drinking water. That I'll teach you how to drink the water again, and you'll feel a lot better if you just drink the water.
It's so true. And the thing about it is, uh, even though they're touting these new effects that seem to be coming about, the fact of the matter is that what they're trying to do is to distract the individuals from the side effects that are really kind of hurting people. We're talking about there's Ozempic face. We know that it sucks all the fat out of here ultimately. Then they're talking about Ozempic butt. But the thing that I found that's scary is the Ozempic brain. The fact that it's actually causing, because again, fat is mostly water.
It's everywhere. Yeah.
Fat is mostly water. It's made up of water. So if it's sucking out the fat, it's also sucking out the moisture. If it's sucking out the moisture, it's not allowing the body, the brain, to function properly.
Right.
That's just
there's so many side effects. You don't even know what the side effects are going to be. And then they're making these drugs so that you can't really stop taking them. Because when you stop taking them, that's when you get the really bad side effects. Okay. And so you're forced to take it the rest of your life. And so you're thinking, I lost, 20, 30 pounds. And so now I can stop, but you didn't condition your body to change your lifestyle. You didn't change your lifestyle. You're just going to go back to eat. You're eating the way you want to eat. And then everything is just going to go back the way it was. And so you didn't really improve anything.
That is indeed a sadness,
Yeah, it's really sad.
And what I'm understanding now is they're trying to make this available to kids because there's a serious epidemic with kids. You have children who have what used to be called adult diabetes at the age of 10.
Yes. Our food out there, I mean, when I was younger, we didn't have these fast foods. We didn't have fast foods. We didn't have soda. And so, I get it. The mothers and families are busy and they just stop by the drive-through and they pick up that, but they don't really understand that that food is not good to eat. You need to go back to fixing food at home, creating, vegetables and, cooking at home is good. I used to cook every meal for my kids, and they become healthy. They're tall and they're slender. They're not overweight. They if they're not hungry, they don't eat. Don't eat when you're not hungry, And so they've understood the mechanism of how you do that. But if you're just eating fast foods, it's so much fat in it, and it's just unhealthy the way it's being given to us. But it's on TV, the commercials and everything. It's there. It's convenient. The convenient is the one. But we're working too much. It's so convenient for people, but we're working too much. We got to slow it down a little bit.
And then on top of that, you mentioned the commercials on TV, and I saw this commercial, and those of you who have been watching the channel for the past couple of weeks, you've heard me bringing it up. So I don't think I'm beating a dead horse because a horse is still off and running out there on TV land, and that's the famous cartoon tiger and tropical bird bursting into the house of a family and saying, when I say cereal, you say dinner. And now let's think about that for a moment. Okay. What we're doing is we already have an epidemic of obesity and diabetes in the country. Now you're telling people and saying, okay, and quite frankly, I find it a little bit insulting, okay, that, oh, you're poor. We know you people are poor, so go ahead and buy our cereal that's already full of glucose, okay, just by reason of the fact that manufactured carbohydrate. And
Right.
by the way, we also frosted it with sugar,
Yeah,
right?
I tested the cereal.
Mhm.
I tested all these fruits, and my little light meter lights up with my water. And then I tested the cereal. Cereal did not light up. Even with that fortified, all that stuff and sugar, it did not even light up. There's no energy in it. It's like, wow, I couldn't believe it didn't light up with the minerals that they put in.
So the understanding there is that you're eating a dead substance. Now,
Right,
okay, argument. Oh, the chicken is dead. It's what have you. Well, here's the thing. That's a protein, and so
right.
protein is designed to be to add life to the body. Okay,
Hmm.
but now we're talking about something that is highly ultra processed.
Right.
You
Yeah,
just
processed foods is like the worst thing you can put in your mouth. And
yeah.
so if you could just get back to the natural things, go to the grocery store and just go through all the vegetables and fruit. They're all alive. They're still alive. I mean, I even let a potato sit out for a week and I tested it and it was still alive. You still got energy out of it.
Now, could you go through the process of the testing for us again, please?
Okay. So I have this light meter that reads energy. And I should have brought it on the show today, but we can do that another time. But it's a meter that registers energy in anything that you stick it in. You could stick it in water, you could stick it in fruit, vegetables, cereal, all that kind of stuff. And so it will measure in volts what kind of energy is in that food. And so the cereal didn't register anything. Some of the waters that say reverse osmosis did not register any light, any volts of energy in it. And so it's something that, it's an investment to get one of those meters, but I try to, go around and test them all so that you could have sort of like a standing information on that. But a lot of things that, you can put in your backyard, you can grow, things that are alive. I'm vegan, so I'm not really eating any meat, but all the vegetables that you can do and just get away from the rice and the pasta that, these are like processed things, you know.
It's a sadness that we have so many situations where people uh, are addicted. Because I love my rice now. I'm part West Indian. I gotta have my rice sometimes, you know.
Well, as
But
long as you have a balance.
exactly, and I've learned to not go for the highly polished white rice all the time. It's more of the brown rice. In fact, I've kind of gone the spectrum of rice. I've gone from white to green to white to brown to green to red. And my favorite is the actual black rice, the forbidden black rice,
Uh-huh.
because it's the highest in protein, you know,
Right.
and it's the highest in antioxidants. You see, but again, does it have a purpose? Does rice have a purpose? In the Caribbean, you can take a good, you can make something called sorrel,
Hmm.
and it's a beverage. But the way to bring the flavor out is to have it sit, steep on rice. You know,
Okay.
now that actually has a wonderful, not just a wonderful flavor, but some curative properties as well. So
Right.
everything in its place, everything that we're not saying just ditch it, but balance.
Right. Everything in moderation. I mean, if you're eating 80% fast foods, you need to tear it down to maybe 10%. Go to there when you just can't do anything else, but it's not a daily habit. Just like meat, you don't need to eat meat every day. You eat meat maybe once a week. Meat does not digest that long. So you have all that stuff in your gut, and now you have no way to get rid of it. And so when I start people on this water, they have so much stuff coming out. They said they can't believe there was all that stuff in their gut. I said, well, believe it, because you're putting stuff in that never gets out because if it takes a week for it to digest and you're putting it in 3 times a day, your gut never gets to rest and heal. And so your colon, it needs to rest for at least 12 hours. And if you let it rest for 12, 14, 16 hours, your body can actually lose weight naturally. without doing anything, just giving it a rest, you know? So I also do intermittent fasting, so I can help people do that. And that works really well. Your colon heals itself. Your colon is one of the fastest healers. You can destroy it, but it can rejuvenate itself in a week. So let it get a rest. And then that should be your top lifeline, because that's where you get your water. That's where you get your nutrients. But if your colon is packed with fecal matter all on the walls, it can't absorb anything. You can't get anything in. So you need to clean out the colon. We clean the outside of our body, but do you think of cleaning the inside? And you got to clean it with water. You can't clean it with soda. Do you wash your car with soda? Do you bathe with soda? So you got to get rid of that stuff. Think like you're in the caveman. Think back in the days. They didn't have soda back there. They didn't have processed foods either. All they did was eat from the ground, and maybe if they could catch a dinosaur or two, then they'd have some meat. But it wasn't every day. Whatever they caught. I don't know if dinosaurs were there at time man was, but something was there.
There were mammals of all sorts back in the day, and we will go off on a whole different tangent in terms of my perspective on I can't even call it primitive man anymore. There's so much suggestion out there that humanity is far older than we surmise, as well as civilization being far older than the technologies. But that's for another time, doctor.
Yeah, that's another time.
But listen, you're incredible to talk to, and your insights, especially on water, is so helpful. And I'm just going to go and have me a drink of it right now. And but I have one more question for you. Thank you so very much for being with us. One more question I ask all my guests. And after all of your knowledge, your own personal journey in terms of increasing your health and your wellness, and then helping others to do the same, Dr. Dorcia Hart, what does it mean to you to crush your mountain?
Well, it's funny you ask. It's sort of a hard question because you don't really know exactly what you're talking about. But but to crush my mountain is when I was sick, and I didn't have a clue of where I was going to go. And when I learned that I had to drink 8 glasses of water, and I didn't drink 8 glasses of water a day. And so that was my mountain that I had to conquer. I had to understand how to get the water in, how to drink the water. And that really changed my life, changed my whole lifestyle. I was able to master drinking the water. I changed my lifestyle. I also went to intermittent fasting. I also went vegan. When you look at all the stuff that's coming in your body and you have to flush it out every day, it's like, why should I put all that in and have to flush it all out? But I think people they just need to take charge of their health. And that's what I did. I took charge of my health, and I am in control of what goes in my mouth and what goes into my body. And that's what I feel like I conquered.
That is the crux of the matter. Because I always say that we are individuals that have to take charge of our health. We have to do what we can do to look after ourselves. Oftentimes we go to a sick care system that is designed to keep us that way, not to attack the problem, but to give something to mask the symptoms. If we actually take the time to just to go back to the basics, many times that's what it takes, to de-stress, to drink more water, to get the proper sleep, to have the right nutrition. Maybe you can't afford to go organic. Maybe that might be a problem, but can we choose the right vegetables? Can we go for the frozen vegetables as opposed to the fast food stuff?
Right.
And can we organize our time so that we spend time with the family to prepare a meal, to eat it together, because that too is part of the health.
Right.
So when you think about that sort of thing, taking water is the first step to improving our life. Interestingly enough, the Bible itself refers to life-giving water. And it talks about that from the Old Testament right on through the New Testament. Okay, it elevates water in a spiritual sense. Not that water itself is a spiritual thing, but it is so closely linked to our life and well-being that it is used in that way.
Right.
Why not start by taking care of yourself? We have individuals like Dr. Hart here, who's very knowledgeable, that can help individuals out. Myself, part of my service is working with individuals to increase their wellness, increase their health, increase their hydration, as well as to de-stress. That all these things lead towards losing the weight, building the muscle, and we have some interesting things coming up, some events coming up down here in the Tar Heel State, that invite individuals to. There's more coming up about it, but we look forward to sharing more. And Doc, we're going to have you back again to talk a little bit more about some of the things that can be done to help individuals. But in the meantime, friends, as I always say, don't just let your doctor tell you and dictate to you what to take. Make your doctor your teammate in your health, not your boss. And whatever you do, don't just climb your mountain, crush through it. And we'll see you next time. Doc, thank you so much for being with us.
If you want to get more information from me, you can go to my website at drhartscircleoflife.com.
In fact, we're going to leave those links in the show notes for everyone. And again,
thank you.
Because we want people to touch base with this young lady and drink up and hydrate.
Yes. Drink up. All right, thank you.
Don't just climb the mountain, crush through it. See you next time. Thanks again, Doc.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for watching Crush Your Mountain. If this is of any value to you, if you enjoyed the information, if it's even a bit entertaining for you, please like and subscribe. It helps us with the algorithm. Leave a comment. We'd love to know what you think. Whatever content you'd like to see in terms of the directions of this channel, in terms of health, wellness, or personal growth, please drop a line. You can certainly reach me at hanksterog20@gmail.com, or you can just leave a comment. Either way, thanks so much for watching Crush Your Mountain. And like I always say, don't just climb a mountain, crush through it.